The DSM-4, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, is what therapists and clinicians and physicians and psychiatrists use to define post-traumatic stress. That definition is based on a medical model. Even in the DSM, it says there's other ways to describe certain phenomena, and those ways might even be more helpful, but because we rely on a medical model, we define everything in terms of disease, disorder, and illness. And so that's where this falls into. As the field's evolving, that will probably change. So one of the ways that I break it down is basically breaking it into 3 different groups. The first one is what I call prolonged post-combat arousal, or you could call it prolonged post-deployment arousal. It is your body is trained, just like your mind is being trained and conditioned in order to fulfill a specific purpose for whatever branch of service, what they need you for, whatever your job is, whatever your work is. Everything that they put into that training conditions your body so that way you're able to function in whatever environment you're trained to operate in. Once you go into that environment and you have real world experience, that really heavily reinforces that training, that experience. And then a certain type of actually subcortical learning. And we talk about subcortical as like survival based. So a certain type of survival based learning starts to take place. And basically you get really, really good at functioning in an elevated state. So the nervous system is designed to go up to respond to a certain situation and then go back down. It's part of the reason why it's that we need sleep. We need to rest so the body can do what it needs to do. When we sleep, your brain is sorting out memories. Many of the things that happen in the brain happen because of the state of the nervous system. So for example, when the nervous system goes up, which we call arousal, your focus typically narrows. Other areas of the brain become less active and they're less involved. So that way you could focus on survival. The body starts to actually draw all the blood flow to the center of the body. One of the other things that happens is it begins to restrict your digestion. It tries to push everything out. That's why sometimes before going on a mission or an op, people have their battle shits because the body wants to evacuate everything and get rid of it so it can focus on survival. And as a result of that, those other parts of the brain that are less active, those are the parts that you need to integrate experience and to plan for the future. That's why when I'm working with people who are in a transition they hadn't planned for, and they're so anxious and stressed because they don't know what's next, that part of the brain that you need to figure out what's next is not active. It's not available. So literally people are stuck. You have a problem, but the resources that you need for the problem, you can't access them. So that's why many of the programs that we use are designed to try to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the relaxation response. Sympathetic response is anything that elevates your nervous system. And when you're functioning in a sympathetic state, you can try to manage it in different ways. That's why people turn to alcohol. That's why, psychiatrists will give you lots of medication, things like that that are designed to make the nervous system less active because it's so elevated and it's kind of stuck in that state that it won't go back.